Today, we're reacting to the most overpowered items in Fortnite history.
Let's go.
Fortnite has seen a crazy amount of damage-dealing items released onto its battlegrounds over the years. If there's one thing that the community absolutely loves about this game, it's the weapons, gadgets, and gizmos that the developers dish out for every chapter. So, without further ado, let's check out the most overpowered of these items. Coming up first, the heavy sniper rifle. This one is an absolute beast capable of one-shotting your enemy unless their shields are at max. One bullet from this bad boy deals 150 damage, and it'll even hit structures for over 1,000 damage per shot.
Okay, that's just crazy.
In Season 5, and Fortnite has been trying to find a way to curb its might since then. While they couldn't cut down on its power, they've decided to give it a reload speed of over 4 seconds.
Yeah,
and
it takes
only
forever.
one bullet in the chamber. Still, players who know how to work this thing can be an absolute menace on the map. Expect some sniper montages whenever the heavy sniper is available for pickup. Next up, we have the OG rocket launcher. A weapon that has existed since the early days of Fortnite, and one that packs a mean punch regardless of your target being player, building, or NPC. You can use it to blast whatever you'd like, but it really shines during the late game build battles when players hide behind cover.
Oh my god!
Oh wow!
Killed him, dude!
One rocket from this thing, and that cover is going to be blasted to smithereens. Epic keeps releasing the rocket launcher from their vault from time to time. It also has different rarities to it. Also, fun fact, players can actually ride the rockets if they time their jump correctly.
Yeah, we've done that before.
The Scar Assault Rifle. If there's one weapon in the game that is sought after by everyone as a constant in their loadout, it's this baby.
Oh, ooh, I got a gold scar.
You a scar? Please, 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 please.
Give it to me.
Please.
Assault rifles are featured as a default weapon in shooter games, and there is no exception here. The Scar is an upper-range rifle that has lately been vaulted and makes surprise appearances toward the end of recent chapters. It also has purple and gold variants, with the former being able to reach a DPS of 192.5. Other assault rifles would need a good bit of attachments, but for this, all you gotta do is slap a scope on this beast and watch it chomp down on your enemies. Our next item on this list is a Marvel favorite, and one that could either make you near immortal or give you a bad headache if someone else is wielding it. The Infinity Gauntlet is perhaps the biggest tribute to Marvel days when they were still using good CGI.
Whoa.
Fortnite's version of the Gauntlet had to become a mythic item that could only be used in a limited time game mode because putting it on made you become Thanos. You got a bunch of super awesome abilities too, such as super jump, full shields, increased health, a laser beam, and a whopping 80 damage per punch. And now that you think about it, it's probably not the Gauntlet that was overpowered. It was Thanos himself.
Do the Nitro Fists even do 80 a punch? I don't think so.
They do 50, and then 55 for the final hit.
Anyway, I'm kind of glad this item is still
that's
vaulted.
a lot.
We've talked about the trusty rocket launcher, but there was a variant of the launcher named the guided missile that made its way onto Fortnite shores in Season 3.
Ooh, that looks fun,
When it wasn't nerfed, this killer rocket launcher could have its missile controlled freely. This was super useful for taking out players who were zipping around on vehicles.
Lachlan just
Even though the missile user
one
was
person every
when
time
operating this item, it was super satisfying to use.
He's at
this
7
thing
HP and he's just going
way in over their head.
Yes! Yes!
When Epic realized how scarily good this guided missile was, they vaulted it, dampened its power, and re-released it into the wild with only 74 damage per shot, and with fewer spawns.
74.
Sadly, this thing's popularity died after that, but let's take a second to remember just how amazing this launcher was pre.
Bro got a front row seat.
I wanted a front row seat.
We talked about the Infinity Gauntlet, but what about the game-breaking Infinity Blade? Featured in Chapter 1, Season 7, this weapon cannot be compared to any other. It lasted for barely 1 week because of how devastatingly powerful it was. It spawned only on Polar Peak, and there was only one Infinity Blade per match to be unsheathed. So imagine the entire lobby dropping into one specific area and bonking the life out of each other just so they could wield this sword. Not gonna lie, I would too. Whoever got lucky enough to get their hands on it would be awarded 200 health, 200 shield health generation, and 30% increased movement speed. All you would need to cheese your way through
so unfair.
Victory Royale. No wonder Epic was so quick to get rid of it. Another wild idea that materialized during Chapter 1 was mechs, specifically the Brute. My guess is that they took inspiration from Spy Kids 3D, Pacific Rim, and Neon Genesis to come up with their own version of a player-controlled kick-ass robot. The Brute was a bipedal mech with amazing health and an arsenal of weapons, perfect for shredding through entire squads or destroying entire POIs.
Jeez.
It was a total headache to take down this thing because it had something for every kind
I remember
of
like
distance.
trying to pilot
Get
this
too close
myself.
and you get stomped or blasted with the inbuilt shotty. Try to snipe it from a building and enjoy a barrage of missiles heading your
Thing's
way.
wild, man.
And in the event that you do get to deplete its health down to 0, the blasted thing would self-destruct, taking you down with it. Incredibly annoying. The Shockwave Hammer sounds like it would be good at obliterating
Shockwave
players,
hammer,
but its
yeah.
main
Yes.
use in Chapter 4 was not to initiate fights, but to run away from them. The hammer had an epic rarity, meaning it was hard to find, but if you did manage to snag one, you automatically got yourself an exit pass from dangerous fights. Basically,
Nice.
it worked the same way as a shockwave grenade, except with this, you slammed the hammer down at an enemy player and flung them across the map, never to be seen again. This item really shined during tight storm circles because if you threw enemy players deep into the storm, they'd never be able to get back out and into the fight again.
He's right here. Oh my gosh! No, dude. No. That is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Medallions were first featured in Chapter 5 and have stuck
that would be
around
so annoying.
since
I think
then,
that literally
even
happened to
though
me in
some
one of the
these
games
are
we played.
super
Peter
broken,
Griffin!
like the aspect of Siphon or Ringmaster Scar's medallion. They've never been nerfed. For those of you who don't know, medallions offer unique advantages to the player who wields them. Some may grant you infinite ammo, some could help replenish shields, and some may even help you run faster. There's a lot to play around with, but at the expense of having your location exposed on the map with a golden circle. And then the risk-reward ratio is enough to make a bunch of players in every lobby drop down and fight for the medal. Even a slight boost to skill and gameplay can be enough to win the game, so I wouldn't be surprised if this item keeps its popularity hot for the foreseeable future. And lastly, the latest and greatest introduced in Chapter 5 Season 3 are Nitro Cars. Super fast cars with absurdly strong health and damage capabilities, in line with the Mad Max theme of the season. There are around 5 different kinds of these cars peppered around the map. You have the Nitro Fang, Behemoth, Lockjaw, Grandeur, Trail Smasher, and the Mighty War
Where are those
Bus.
other two?
All of these cars seat 4 people each, with the exception of the War Bus, which has 7 seats available. Season 3 is all about car wars, and if you're choosing to deliberately run around and play the old-fashioned way, sooner or later going to be bonked into elimination by a war bus.
Get him, get him! Get it!
Even players' loadouts are dependent on maintaining their vehicles. Epic intentionally increased the health of vehicles so players spend a good bit of time trying to take out each other's vehicles. Having said that, a cowcatcher front bumper coupled with a grenade launcher turret roof will have no problem wiping out a team that didn't pay attention to their car attachments. It's a maxed out, mad season,